What up, everybody? This is Ace. Welcome to another episode of Ace and His Familia podcast with also co-host Famous B. Today, Famous and I have Dalis as a guest. Tonight, she's not a host. She's a guest, and we're going to talk all about WWE. What's up, Famous?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing this evening?
All good. Hey, Dalis, how's it going?
Everything good as well.
Awesome. There's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to pro wrestling. So much things going on. So much to talk about, whether it's WWE or AEW. Also, I want to give a quick little shout out to Impact Wrestling. They are doing pretty good. They just had a barbed wire massacre match or some sort. It was brutal. It was a triple threat match. Sami Callahan, Moose, I forgot the other guy's name, but I think Macklin or some sort. He used to be in WWE, but I think his name is Steve Macklin in Impact Wrestling. They had a tremendous but violent and bloody match. I highly recommend everyone checking it out. They also had the Bullet Club, Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers, versus the Motor City Machine Guns not that long ago. So that was a really good match. I highly recommend you guys checking out Impact Wrestling. I know it's kind of hard, but at least check it out online, maybe YouTube clip, whatever you guys can do. Show your support for Impact Wrestling. I highly recommend it. So, since Dalis, you did a pretty good job hosting last episode with the ladies' night. How did you think it went? First, let me know how you think it went last episode.
Last episode, I think it was fairly good. We did have some little hiccups here and there, but to be hosting it for the first time, I guess it went fairly well.
Yeah, I agree on that one. So that's why we wanted you back on. See what you want. I heard you wanted to talk about what's going on Raw, and yeah. So it's very, very, very interesting. So first, let's kick off with one thing going on with both Raw, SmackDown, Extreme Rules. As of right now, it looks like every match, which is to me is awesome. Every match has a stipulation. I think it was last year. I think only the title match was a stipulation match, which doesn't really look good when it comes to Extreme Rules. If you're gonna call the pay-per-view Extreme Rules, I think you gotta have every match, no matter what match you're gonna have, it has to be some sort of stipulation. And as of right now, every match so far has a stipulation, whether it's a strap match, whether it's a ladder match, Extreme Rules match. So many things going on. What do you guys think? Dalis, since you're the guest, I'm going to start with you. What do you think so far of the build-up with Extreme Rules?
I think, in my opinion, I think they're doing a great job with the build-up going to Extreme Rules. And you do have a point, because I remember watching Extreme Rules last year, and I didn't, I'm like you said, there was only one match, so it just felt like it was an Extreme Rules pay-per-view just because of one match. And seeing that every single match has, as you said, some sort of an extreme match in it, I'm really stoked for it, actually. Like, I'm looking forward to the Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. Like, that one's really, it's going to be really, really good. And Bianca versus Bayley.
Yep.
And of course, McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. So those are like the top three that I'm looking forward and watching.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, looks like Bianca's having a ladder match. Bayley does have experience in a ladder match. But the thing is, they're actually making history because this is the first ever in WWE, first ever one-on-one women's ladder match. Right?
Nice.
Lately, we've had, like, if you have a ladder match, it's a multi-woman, like Money in the Bank or stuff like that. This is the first time that it's a one-on-one ladder match. What do you think about that, Dallas? Is that pretty awesome or what?
Of course it is. That just shows the progress and how they're really behind the women right now. So kudos for them, and it's a great step forward, not backwards.
I agree. Feynman, what do you think? What's your thoughts on all this Extreme Rules?
Again, Dallas makes interesting points. It all goes back to Triple H taking over in this era and basically making it better and bringing back what wrestling should have been a long time ago. And for him to, have a stipulation for each match, it's just bringing back excitement to pro wrestling and the WWE, and that's what us fans were waiting for and looking for. And through the tough times of the pandemic, we didn't really have all that too much. So this right now is what we're looking for, and I'm extremely excited. And again, Dallas brought up a good point. The women are going to get the attention they deserve, and it's going to be equal. It's not going to be just focused on a man or a woman. It's going to be both. But I'm just glad that the women are finally getting that extra exposure and more attention. And I'm really looking forward to Extreme Rules. I can't wait.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Which match are you more excited for to watch, Famous, since Dallas gave her picks?
I want I want to see that Christian and Finn Balor match.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Edge and Finn Balor match. I want to see the Edge and Finn Balor match. I do want to see the rematch between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. I think those matches are going to be extremely extreme and fun, and we're going to have a lot of action, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to those two matches.
Yeah, I agree. The Finn Balor versus Edge match is an I Quit match, which is it's going to be brutal. And the Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins is basically going to be a UFC fight, kind of, because no pinfalls. It's the first ever on the main roster a what's it called, fight pit match.
Fight pit.
Yep, a fight pit match, and it's just basically either knockout or tap out. And you cannot escape the cage. If you escape the cage, you automatically forfeit the match. So it's kind of basically like a MMA fight, like a UFC fight. The only difference is they also have you can also climb up, and there's like a top part as well where you can fight up there as well. But yeah, Riddle has the experience. I'm very excited for that. Okay, Monday Night Raw. We just watched Monday Night Raw. Last week was awesome. This week was awesome. There's so many things going on right now on Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? Johnny Gargano, not that long ago, just had his first match. He made a debut, and now his first match. And now this week, we saw Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano's wife, in WWE, coming back to this time going to the main roster on Monday Night Raw. And I'm excited for Candice LeRae. She just had a meet and greet in LA. Shout outs to Jimmy Ford Order, JWO. Yep, she just did a meet and greet. Johnny Gargano did a podcast for Ryan Satin. They asked him about Candice. He was like, "Oh, she's happy being a mom. When she's ready, she'll probably come back." Well, I don't know. It's up to her. Right now she's just happy being a mom and this and that, playing the kayfabe. And then all of a sudden, Candice LeRae makes her debut, and no dirt sheet knew about it. No, oh, I saw Candice LeRae on, in Canada, whatever. There was nothing like that. Same like Johnny Gargano. And it was in Canada as well. So not only Johnny Gargano made his surprise debut in Canada a couple of weeks ago, but now Candice LeRae as well. Famous, what do you think about this going on with Candice LeRae coming in with and trying to boost up the women's division and maybe be part of War Games. What do you think about all this?
Well, you know what? It's kind of funny because Dallas and I were at that meet and greet, and I had the opportunity to ask Candice if she was going to come back to the WWE, and she basically gave the same answer as her husband did, as what you were talking about. Candice said, "Look, I enjoy being a mom. I don't know if I'm going to come back. I'm not really sure." But out of nowhere, she surprised us and popped up. And, I think she was planning on it. She just didn't want to give it away, kind of want to surprise everybody. And, boy, she actually did surprise everybody by popping up yesterday. And congratulations to her. I think she's going to do some great things in the women's division. And I hope that she gets an opportunity to tag with Indy Hartwell and maybe become future tag team champions. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. It was a really great surprise. I wasn't able to go to that meet and greet, but I heard it was awesome. And like I said, both Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, looks like they love to do that surprise return. You know what I mean? Because they're fan at heart as well. So Johnny has said it. He misses where you don't expect it. You know what I mean? When you don't think no one's gonna show up, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, a return or a debut out of nowhere. You know what I mean? That's what they missed, and that's what they wanted to do. I think it was their choice, and I love how WWE did it. Dalis, what do you think about Candice and Johnny coming in as a surprise? And what do you think Candice LeRae brings to the women's division as well?
Well, as y'all mentioned, I like the concept expect the unexpected, because both of their debuts were really unexpected. So that keeps us like on our edge, really excited. Like, I really like the surprises like that, like the little swerves. And in regards to Candice, I'm really happy for her. I think, they're just building up their women roster. And the way she's heading, she's already aligning herself with Bianca, Asuka, and Bliss. So we see she's in good hands.
So, Dallas, let me ask you a question getting back to Candice real quick. What do you think Candice LeRae's, or not Candice LeRae, but what do you think her expectations are coming back in the WWE, and how do you see her helping the women's division as far as maybe a tag team or a champion? And do you think she's going to help out those women who are getting their opportunity, maybe a push at a title or a singles competition? Can you kind of give us a little info or just give us an explanation about that?
Well, regards to Candice LeRae, I remember her during the War Games. Like, to me, she's like a horsewoman, that she will give you great matches, and she's able to work with anyone. And a good example was that War Games, that she came in and she worked with everyone there. And I think she could stand toe-to-toe with the current roster. Like, she's very familiar with most of them back in NXT.
Yep, I agree.
And the only missing piece is just bringing over Indy Hartwell, and, that would be kind of a great reunion with the Way.
Yeah, I agree, but I've been hearing, I don't know, like, people have been talking about how War Games is looking up, and it looks like it's going to be, the way it looks like, it's going to be Bianca, Candice LeRae, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss on one side. And then the other side, of course, is Damage Control, but they're going to need another partner. What if, and it's just what I've been hearing, like, from the fans, people speculating, so it's not even reports, it's just fans thinking, what if Indy comes in, and at first it looks like she's going to be a babyface, and turns her back on Candice LeRae and joins up with Damage Control? because if you think about it, Bailey, she wants to bring people in and give them opportunities that they haven't been given. Indy really haven't been doing much in NXT ever since the way split up. Um, you know, she can be one of the ones that can be brought up by Bailey, and I don't know, maybe this is a way to bring Indy Hartwell, but instead of as a team with Candice, maybe turn her heel and see what she can do as a heel and be part of War Games. But on the other side, another person I've heard, people have been talking, that also used to be kind of partners and friends with Candice, Tegan Knox. Maybe bring in Tegan Knox back. You know, Triple H is hiring a lot of people, you know, bringing in, amping up the women's division. You know, what if he brings in Tegan Knox? And this time Tegan Knox has a chip over her shoulder because she got released. No, you know, and maybe she wants to turn heel and help Bailey out. What do you guys think about those two ideas? Maybe Indy turning heel and being with Damage Control, or maybe bringing in Tegan Knox. Famous B, I'm going to go with you first.
I kind of like those ideas. You know, again, we need to stack the women's division. I think it would be great to have Tegan Knox back in there. Indy Hartwell, you know, possibly turning heel. I mean, hey, look, at this point right now, we really need to focus on the women's division, really getting it where it needs to be, getting excitement in there, getting the exposure. We don't really need to focus too much on the men's side, but let's focus on the women. And I think those two would be an awesome addition. Everybody's waiting for Sasha and Naomi to come back. So when they come back, that's going to be awesome as well. So I'm really looking forward to the women's division getting, you know, like you said, like I've been saying, the exposure they deserve. Dallas took my line, and I like that line, and I did use it. Expect the unexpected, and that's what it's about. So I like it. I do. Absolutely.
Dallas, your thoughts?
I agree. I like the ideas, Indy Hartwell or Tegan Knox. Since you mentioned Tegan Knox, I'm more leaning on Tegan Knox. Just because, you know, if you know her history, she's friends with Dakota Kai, and there were great enemies too. So I could probably see more. I'm leaning more on Tegan Knox fitting into Damage Control.
Yeah, because I think wasn't Dakota Kai turned her back on Tegan Knox or something like that on
That's
NXT?
Correct. Yes, and they had some good feuds.
And it was at War Games, so
yeah.
So maybe this time they'll work together and you know, try to take out the babyface. Maybe Tegan Knox said that she realized that Dakota Kai was right. You gotta be ruthless. You gotta be vicious. And maybe she turns heel. I'm up for that. I'm very up for that. Speaking about Candice LeRae, what about Johnny Gargano? Johnny Wrestling. What do you guys think so far? How's it going with Johnny Gargano on Monday Night Raw? First, he had his singles match, and then last night it was a tag match with Kevin Owens against Alpha Academy. What do you think is going? How's it going with Johnny Gargano so far?
I mean, I like the pace that they're going with Gargano. I mean, it's not like, you know, quickly. They're just taking their time with him, you know? And to be honest, I thought that was a really fun match to watch. KO with Gargano. I love their chemistry and everything, and I enjoyed that match. That match was really awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think Alpha Academy are doing awesome. I think Chad Gable, he is getting into the groove. He is getting comfortable. And the beginning, when they started Alpha Academy, I felt like even before Alpha Academy, when it was Shorty G and all that, I don't think he was comfortable. I don't think he wanted to to do anything. I just think he was just comfort in what he was doing, but he wasn't happy. And now he's comfortable, he's happy, and he's doing some great work, man. I think him and Otis are awesome. I wasn't so sure about the tag team when they got together, and now I'm loving it. I'm loving Alpha Academy. They're hilarious with their shoosh, and and they can get in the ring. What I love about them is they're kind of like a combination of Kurt Angle, because Kurt Angle back in the days, backstage they can be funny, in the promo they can be funny, just like Kurt. Kurt was hilarious, but when it came into the ring, it's a go. It's an all out. You could always expect good matches with Kurt Angle and make the baby faces look good, and it's the same thing with Alpha Academy. Famous B, what do you think with Alpha Academy, and also how do you think it's going with Johnny Gargano as well and the tag match?
So I'm gonna start with Johnny Gargano. If I can be honest, Johnny Gargano was really good at NXT. I thought he was a great performer. I thought he had great matches with Tommaso Ciampa, and also when he fought Andrade. As far as now goes, I'm not too happy with it. And here's why. Number one, I think it's really too soon for us to predict what's going to happen with Johnny Gargano. I don't really see him doing so much as a singles competitor, but I do see him as a tag team partner, and I want to see DIY back together. In other words, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and I want to see them become tag team champions. I think with them two together, that tag team division would be legit. As far as the Alpha Academy, I got to be honest, they're jobbers to me, but they're very entertaining. They get the fans going. They bring excitement. They get them involved. And that's what it's about for me. Everybody expects wrestlers to perform. I get it. But there's just something certain about those guys that makes it so fun. And that's what they bring to the business. And that's what it's about. So, yeah, I think they're great as far as entertainment goes. I love the fact that, they get their butt kicked a lot, but they still are there for entertainment purposes. They make it enjoyable and fun. And, I really like it.
Okay, well, I agree and disagree with you on some points. I do agree with you if when it comes to Johnny Gargano, if he reunites with Tommaso Ciampa and becomes DIY, I think they would definitely boost up the tag team division. I think, especially with what happened last night, we could, instead of, because a lot of people were saying maybe KO and Sami, but if you want to keep Sami in the bloodline for now, because I think Sami Zayn is doing great, and we'll talk about him a little bit in a little bit. But if you want to continue that going and not break Sami Zayn from the bloodline just yet, maybe you can do Gargano and KO as a tag team. They've always wanted to be a tag team. They wanted to do it in the independence and the indie scene. They weren't able to do it. So maybe they'll do it here in WWE TV, and maybe they'll be tag team champions. Who knows? I wouldn't mind that. But what I do disagree on you when it comes to Johnny Gargano, I think Johnny can also be great as a singles competitor. Maybe not like Universal or WWE champion. You never know. Hey, Rey Mysterio did it. If he could do it, anyone can do it. But at the same time, I can see him maybe going for the Intercontinental titles one day, maybe U.S. title one day. I could see that. You know what I mean? But I do agree, and I agree with Dalis, the part where they're slowly building him up. They're not rushing him. You know what I mean? Because people are still getting used to him. Yes, the hardcore fans, we know who he is. We know what he did in NXT. But not everyone watches NXT. So you do have those casual fans that are gonna be like, who is this guy? And so you gotta build them up slowly, and I think that's what they're doing. And I do enjoy. I am enjoying it. He's having pretty good matches, and I enjoyed the tag team. When it comes to Alpha Academy, I don't think they're jobbers because they have won some matches. They do every once in a while. They do pick up a victory, but it's not for me. It's not really about them winning or losing. I think it's like you said, Brian. The part I do agree with you is the entertainment part. I think they're very entertaining. I think they can bring in a lot of the heel heat. Get fans to boo them, make the babyface look strong. You know, I do like Alpha Academy what they're doing, and I don't really think it matters when it comes to them, especially now. Maybe in the beginning, yes, but now it doesn't really matter if they win or lose because they're just entertaining. I love seeing Alpha Academy on my television. I'm enjoying everything that they're doing, whether they win or lose. I really don't care. But yeah, it's been great. Also, I want to talk to you guys about what other matches going on Raw. One more match I want to talk about. Let's talk about the. I had it. Well, let's talk about the Rey Mysterio feud going on with the Judgment Day and Edge as well, putting Edge in there. To me, it seems like after Extreme Rules, Edge might be taking some time off because I don't see Finn Balor saying I quit. Because to me, if Finn Balor says I quit, that's basically a burial for the Judgment Day. And right now, Judgment Day has been doing pretty good at times, but then they also lose at other times. So I think that Judgment Day right now need this victory. And I think also this can also help Rey Mysterio because yes, Edge goes away, but then Rey Mysterio's gonna have to need backup. And I think this is an opportunity to bring in, I think this would be a perfect opportunity to bring in Legado del Fantasma. And instead of bringing them as heels, bringing them as baby faces, bringing them to help out Rey Mysterio against the Judgment Day. And maybe down the line, maybe at Survivor Series, maybe even at WrestleMania, we get a Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio match. But I can really see that happening. What do you guys think about maybe Edge taking some time off? Or do you think Edge needs the victory more than Finn Balor? What do you guys think about all that and what's going on with the Judgment Day, Rey Mysterio, Dominic, all that's going on? What do you guys think? Dallas, what do you think with everything?
Edge versus Finn. I think at this point, I think Finn Balor should take the win. I think for Judgment Day, they need the victory more than Edge at this point. Especially if they want to stable themselves as a great stable. I think they need the victory on their end.
Yeah.
Definitely. And if, let's say Edge does take time away and it just leaves Rey Mysterio continuing feuding with Judgment Day. I like your idea with Legado del Fantasma. I think that's a good opportunity for them to debut. But then that leaves us with the AJ Styles situation because I know in yesterday's backstage segment, Finn Balor had a conversation with AJ, either join them or as we saw, he kind of teased that he was gonna injure him, but he didn't. So there's that AJ Styles formula there, which I'm thinking he might be on Ray's corner.
Yeah, I can see that. I've also seen that maybe right now, yes, AJ Styles is in that pot of feud or whatever, that group of feud. But I've also seen at different live events, I've seen that they've been putting AJ Styles up against Roman. Maybe,
Interesting.
maybe I don't know, because usually when they do live events, usually is to test things out before they put it on TV. So maybe they transfer, and then right last week, just last night, AJ Styles had a match with Sami Zayn. So maybe right now, yes, they're asking him to join and this and that. But I think somehow, some way, AJ's just gonna forget about the Judgment Day, move on, and go up against Roman. I can see, I can see maybe at Survivor Series, if Roman's not in the War Games match, or maybe inside the War Games match. Maybe, AJ is part of the team that goes up against the Bloodline. I don't know. But I've heard maybe that rumors, possibly AJ being in the title picture against Roman Reigns, at least for now, until now in the Royal Rumble. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know, man. But I am enjoying everything going on with the Judgment Day and Dominic and Rhea Ripley. Famous, what do you think? How do you think it's going with Judgment Day, Dominic, Rhea, and the Rey Mysterio situation?
So, you guys brought up some interesting points with the Judgment Day. So, here's what I want to see. You guys talk about Finn Balor and the Edge situation. You guys want to see Finn Balor beating Edge. I could see that happening. That would be great. But here's what I would like to see. Because you guys had talked about, Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Yeah, I really want to see them go at it one-on-one. I think it'd be really good for Dominic to follow his dad's footsteps, because, Rey Mysterio at some point will retire, and it just gives Dominic the extra push that he wants. But let's just say that if Finn Balor does win that match against Edge, what I want to see is Rey Mysterio team up with Edge versus Dominic and one of the members of it would be Finn Balor. So I want Finn Balor, Dominic versus Edge and Rey Mysterio. That would be something to watch as far as the a tag team match would go. And as far as Rhea Ripley's concerned, don't know what they're doing with her. We haven't seen her wrestle in the ring yet. She was supposed to get a title shot against Bianca. We still haven't seen that happen. So I'm kind of wondering why they're not giving her a match, why they're not putting her in the ring. We've had no specific details as to why that hasn't been happening. Damian Priest is doing a phenomenal job. Who knows what they're going to do with him? We can only wait and see about that. But overall, I really want to see a tag team match with Edge, Rey, Dominic, and Finn Balor.
We can really, I think that is possible. I could really see them doing that, maybe at Crown Jewel. Because the Saudi Arabian people, they like legends. They like to have star power. And what a bigger legend than Rey Mysterio and Edge. You know what I mean? So I can really see that happening maybe at Crown Jewel. Have that tag match and have Edge be the one going up against Dominic, and every time Dominic's in the ring, have Rey Mysterio tag out and let Edge put a beating on Dominic, and every time Finn Balor gets tagged in, maybe Rey Mysterio gets in. I can really see that. When it comes to Rhea, I think the only reason that they're not really putting her in the title picture is because of Damage Control. With Damage Control came in, things changed. Yeah, Rhea had a title shot. She got injured. But all that happened in the Vince McMahon era. That was still part of the Vince McMahon when Vince McMahon was still in control. And even Rhea said she did not feel comfortable yet when she not only when she joined Judgment Day in the beginning, but also when she was tag teaming with Nikki Cross, when she was a babyface, when the first time she got called up to the main roster, she wasn't comfortable yet, and that's why I think she was losing a lot in the beginning because she was not comfortable in the main roster, but and she didn't know who she really was, and to me now the Rhea from then to now is completely different. I see her very, very comfortable. I see her enjoying herself. She's smiling. She's having a good time. You know what I mean? Everything she's doing with Dominic, I think it's awesome. I wasn't so sure in the beginning because I wanted Dominic and maybe even Ray or maybe just Dominic to turn heel and that's how you and I thought that's how you call up Legado. You could probably still do it in the future, but to me that's what I was expecting. And then when he joined Judgment Day, I wasn't so sure. I didn't think Dominic fit, but as of right now, I think he's doing awesome. It's just the beginning. Yes, he still has a few things that he needs to improve on, but to me, this is going to help Dominic get comfortable. Because it helped Rhea. Why can't it help Dominic? And I think this is a good thing for Dominic to get comfortable in his own skin, to get comfortable without having his legendary father by his side. You know, he can even have, like we said, have a match with his father. You know what I mean? Get comfortable. So when Rey Mysterio does decide to go away, then Dominic is like, all right, you can go, retire, enjoy your life. I'm going to take over the Mysterio name, and I'm going to kick ass. I think that's awesome to me. All right, let's jump in to AEW real quick with Grand Slam. What do you guys think so far of how was last week with Grand Slam? We had new champions, quite a few new champions. First of all, we had Jericho win the ROH championship, which shocked the hell out of me. I was not expecting Jericho to beat Claudio, so I didn't like it. But at the same time, I didn't like it at first, but now to think about it, I kind of do because it was unexpected. I thought it was a win for Claudio. I was like, automatic win for Claudio. It's predictable. And then all of a sudden Tony Khan said, nope, never mind. And he gave it to Jericho. So maybe the star power with Jericho, this could help out Ring of Honor. I know Tony Khan have been trying to get some sort of TV deal with Ring of Honor, some sort of deal where they can start doing Ring of Honor shows. Maybe with Jericho as the champion, that would help that out and improve their chances to get some sort of TV deal, or maybe put it on an app, maybe HBO, Hulu, something where you can put Ring of Honor on the map. Start making Ring of Honor its own show. To me, I think it's kind of a good thing. We also had the Acclaimed winning the tag team title, the AEW tag team titles. I like the Acclaim won the titles. I'm not so sure on how they won it because it looks like they're baby faces. They're pushing them as baby faces, yet they needed Billy Gunn to help them win the match. If you wanted to have Billy Gunn to help win the match, have one of the heels attack Billy Gunn first, and then you can say, okay, well, he got what he deserved. I don't know. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with Dalis. Tell me, what do you think about the Jericho Claudio? And then we go with Famous B, and let me know, Famous, what do you think about what's going on with the Acclaimed and how they won the tag team titles at Grand Slam? Dalis, you go first.
All right, so Claudio versus Jericho. Yeah, I know I was on Claudio's side. I wanted Claudio to retain. And I was really shocked that Jericho won. So I felt bittersweet about it. Like, I didn't understand why Jericho won. But then talking to a friend of mine, which kind of makes sense in a way. Like, since, they want to bring that name back to Ring of Honor. And knowing that Jericho and Daniel Garcia, they both are currently Ring of Honor champions. Maybe down the line, maybe we see some kind of title versus title or some type of unification title between Jericho and Daniel Garcia.
Interesting. I can see that.
Yeah, so, like Daniel Garcia, he did congratulate Jericho, but he wasn't over the moon on how he won that title. So maybe it's going in that route, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. Especially since it looks like right now Daniel Garcia is in the middle. He doesn't know if he wants to be babyface or a heel. You know what I mean? He's like still thinking, he's still with the Jericho's with an appreciation society, some sort of. Yeah, he's still with them, which is a heel group, but at the same time, he's still like, he's telling Jericho, why did you cheat? Well, he is a heel. So I think he's still undecisive. So I can see them doing maybe Jericho versus Daniel Garcia. I can see it. That's a good idea, Dalis. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Famous, your turn. What do you think about the Acclaimed and how they won the titles at Grand Slam?
First of all, congratulations to the Acclaimed. I think it was well deserved. I thought they should have been champions a long time ago. They are one of the best tag teams in AEW. And for me, it goes like this. Doesn't matter how you win it, you won it. And Billy Gunn, helped him win it. And you know what? The Bloodline does the same thing. They all help their team out to win, and whatever happens, happens. And I'm just glad that the Acclaim got the belts.
Well, you can't really compare the Bloodline with the Acclaim because because
Bloodline helps their teams out winning the titles, won the tag team titles and helped Roman Reigns win his titles and win them several times. It's a total comparison. Of course you can compare.
No, because the thing is,
when the team. What are you talking about?
No, because the difference is that the Bloodlines are heel. They're heel. Heels cheat. No. Heels cheat. No, heels cheat. The only one that could get away with cheating, even being the babyface, is either Austin or Eddie Guerrero in the past. That's about it. Right now, babyfaces that cheat, to me, it hurts the babyface. You got to win cleanly when it comes to a baby. Heels can cheat. That's fine. Look at Jericho. Jericho cheated to win the title. I can see that because he's a heel. That's why I'm like, I think Daniel Garcia's on the fence. He doesn't know which side he wants to be on. If he wants to be in the babyface side or the heel side, he wants to listen to Daniel Bryan because that's his hero, whatever, and he respects Daniel Bryan, so he wants to become a pro wrestler. But at the same time, Jericho's the one that brought him in and said, "Hey, come with my group." We're gonna, so he's indecisive. And Jericho is a heel, so he can cheat. Sometimes I don't like when he cheats, but he can cheat because he's a heel. Bloodline, the same thing. But the problem is the Acclaimed, they're positioning them as baby faces. They used to be heels, and when they were heels, they can cheat. That's fine. But now, I'm not saying not to cheat, but there's a way to cheat when it comes to baby faces. Like I said, maybe have one of their opponents, maybe Swerve, because it looks like Swerve is going heel. I think what they're going to do is they're going to split up Swerve and Keith Lee. Keith Lee is going to stay as a babyface, and I think Swerve is going to go on his own because he wants to be a heel. You can straight up tell he's having anger issues. He has an attitude, and Keith Lee is more calm. and he's like, why are you? He's always questioning his partners, his partner's decision. So I can see, let's say, Swerve hitting Billy when, from behind or something, and then later on in the match when the referee wasn't looking, Billy hits the Faymaster and helps the Acclaim win it. That I can see that because it's a receipt, you know what I mean? Swerve hit Billy Gunn first, and then it gives Billy the right, hey, you gotta defend yourself, do what you gotta do. That I can see. But if Billy just attacked the heel for no reason, they didn't touch him, so it's like the Acclaim winning the titles, like, which is great for the Acclaim, and I'm a huge fan of the Acclaim. I'm not throwing shots at the Acclaim, but at the same time, it's the booking. Why make the Acclaim win heelish? Now the heels can say, hey, you guys cheated, you guys got lucky, you guys are paper champions, and to me it kind of hurts the Acclaim a little bit. They needed to win clean, because they're baby faces. It's their first title. They gotta win clean to show that they deserve to be tag team champions.
I disagree. A win's a win, no matter how you do it. You get a win, and that's it.
And remember, at the pay-per-view, they lost. And not only that, at the pay-per-view, they lost. They lost They lost their match, and now they get a rematch. Just because the fans wanted it, and Tony Khan saw the big buzz going up against the Acclaim, so he gave him a title match. And the only way they could win is by cheating. They couldn't win it fairly at the pay-per-view, so they won it by cheating. To me, that hurts the Acclaim.
That's what the Bloodline did. That's what millions of wrestlers are doing.
Yeah, but the Bloodline is a heel. The Bloodlines are a heel.
I disagree with what you're saying, but that's why we have the show.
Yeah.
I totally disagree. A win's a win, no matter how you do it, and they've all done it. No matter if you're a heel or a face, you got to do what you got to do to win a title or even a match. That's how it goes.
Bloodlines are heels, so they can cheat. That's the difference.
Well, that's not true. You can cheat no matter what. Doesn't matter. Dallas, go ahead and give us your opinion on that.
What do you think, Dallas?
Oh my God, really?
Well, that's why you're here. Come on.
Famous is on one side. I'm on the other side. Whose side are you on? Let's go.
Oh my God. Well, for one, I was happy for the Acclaim to win. Okay?
No doubt.
They deserved it. But then again, I understand your point of view is how they won it. And I also understand Famous B's point of view. So it's like, a win is a win, but I understand why you say that, they're supposed to be babyface, but they're acting like heels.
So basically you want to be in the middle. You don't want to choose sides.
Exactly. And not only that, but, it has happened in other promotions as well. So it is what it is. The Acclaim is the champions.
Well, let's see what they do now with the Acclaim. Who's going to be their next challengers? I'm interested to see. Maybe FTR. They've been wanting a title shot. They've been deserving of a title shot. But at the same time, do you really want to do that match and have either FTR lose or even Acclaim lose? They just won the title. So I don't know if you want to do that match. But I'm very, very interested because I know FTR wants this title shot. But at the same time, you don't want to be changing titles every single time, changing champions. So you want to keep it on the Acclaim. And maybe an FTR is kind of like a babyface tag team now. So who knows? I'm very interested. To me, in my opinion, what they need to do is turn Dark Order heel. In my opinion, Dark Order would be a good challenge. Maybe not winning. I don't think Dark Order would win the titles, but I think they would do a good feud with the Acclaimed. But you gotta turn Dark Order heel because right now they're just jobbers, and it's sad because of the memory of Brody Lee. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Acclaim. Now let's talk about the AEW World Title. Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson, and Moxley is now a 3-time AEW champion. To me, I called it. I kind of knew that Moxley was gonna win it. The reason why I knew Moxley was gonna win it was because MJF is next, and you don't want Bryan Danielson, my bad. Bryan Danielson, you don't want Bryan Danielson to win the title, his first title in AEW, and then lose it to MJF. And if he beats MJF, then it makes MJF look bad. At least now, with Moxley, which even though I don't like the hot potatoing right now that's going on in AEW, it goes from Moxley to Punk, back to Moxley, to Vacant, to, everything that's going on with the AEW title. There's a lot of controversy coming with the AEW title, so I'm not really happy about it. But I can see Moxley now the champion. He loses it to MJF, and maybe now Moxley can take his time off, because I've heard that Moxley was going to take a couple months off, maybe like 3 months off, or maybe a couple, who knows. I heard it was a couple months off. He was going to take some time off, like a vacation, to just unwind and not think about pro wrestling. But with everything that happened at All Out and the controversial things with CM Punk, Tony Khan told him, we need you, get over here. We need you we don't have Punk now. We're not going to have the Elite. So we need you as star power. And I can see Moxley putting over MJF, and it doesn't hurt Moxley, because Moxley is a 3-time AEW champion, and to me, he's the face of AEW. Yes, he's a WWE guy, but at the same time, he's the face of AEW right now. As he's been doing great. I think everything he's been doing with his what's it called, the Blackpool Combat Club, I think they're awesome. And I can really see Moxley handing it over to MJF and then taking time off, and then we can see MJF versus Bryan Danielson. Maybe then we'll see a title match between Bryan Danielson and MJF. I don't know, but I kind of saw it coming. I know, Dallas, you were rooting for Bryan Danielson, so
yes, I was.
so let me know, what did you think about the match and the outcome, even though it wasn't the outcome that you chose? Tell me what's your thoughts.
Well, it was a great match, without a doubt. It was two of the greatest wrestlers going toe to toe, two stablemates, let's call them. And it just reminded me last year when Moxley and Bryan, that they wanted to fight each other. I don't know if you guys remember that when Moxley told him, I'll fight you until we bleed each other or something, then I'll join you.
Yep.
So it kind of gave me goosebumps all over again when I saw their match. And I, deep down, I really wanted Bryan to win. But it's now that I heard your point of view on why Moxley won, it makes sense. But there's also a little thing. I know on Rampage main event there was this golden ticket lottery, and Hangman Page won it.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly, since he's the golden ticket winner, he gets a shot at the title as well.
But I think he gets the title. He's gonna get a title shot after MJF. I'm not quite sure if I'm not 100% on that, but I think so. If not, I could see Page turning heel, like I said, with Dark Order turning heel, and I think that would be awesome. But you're right. Adam Page did win a title shot, So who knows how they're gonna go with it? Are they gonna do Adam Page versus Moxley first, or because I don't know the way I heard it, I think they're gonna do MJF first and then Adam Page, but who knows? What do you think?
Who knows? Get a triple threat.
Hey, why not? Let's. That would be cool. Why not?
Page, MJF, and Moxley. Hey, I'm down for that.
Oh yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting.
I actually I kind of agree with you. I would love to see that triple threat. Now I want to see that triple threat. God damn it, Dallas. Now if we don't get that triple threat, I'm gonna blame you for it.
Well, because we've been seeing a lot of one-on-ones. I mean, come on, let's change it up a bit.
I like the way you think. Famous, what do you think? What do you think about what Dallas just said? Maybe a triple threat.
I like it, Dallas, but I'm going to throw somebody in there. I'm going to throw Bryan Danielson in that triple threat match. And here's why. Adam Page, to me, I think everybody's a little tired of him being a champion, to be honest with you. I think Bryan Danielson would be a great addition into that triple threat match. You're going to have Moxley, MJF, and Bryan Danielson. To me, that would be probably one of the best triple threat matches if we see that in AEW. So I want to see that match take place. Now, as far as the Moxley and Bryan Danielson match, I always call him Daniel Bryan. I'm so used to it. Bryan Danielson. that was a great match.
Yep.
I kind of figured that Jon Moxley was going to win, and here's why. I don't think their intention was to ever make Bryan Danielson a champion. I think the reason why Bryan Danielson came to AEW was because he wanted to work with the younger talent to get them to become the future of the business. So by them doing that and having Bryan Danielson fighting Moxley, that in itself was just giving us what we wanted. But at the same time, I'm going to agree with Ace on this, that Moxley deserves and is the face of AEW. What Moxley has done has been absolutely amazing. He's got the fans right with him all the time. He's going down, from the tunnel all the way down to the ringside, gets the fans in with him, just having a blast. And, absolutely is just an amazing wrestler. So I think that their intention was to have Jon Moxley win the AEW championship. And again, not to take anything away from Bryan Danielson, but I think that's why Bryan Danielson came to AEW, was because he wanted to work with all this talent, trying to get them, to where they want to be. And that's why he showed up there. Now, as far as MJF is concerned, I do agree with Ace on that as well. I think that match will and should take place one-on-one. I think MJF will finally get what he deserves to become the AEW World Champion. It's been a long time coming, a long time waiting, and I think I would not be much more happier than to see the person that's going to be handing that title match over and the title or to MJF would be none other than Jon Moxley, because, again, he deserves to take that vacation. And I think that, Moxley would definitely be honored to give MJF that championship belt. So, yeah, again, that's my take on that. And, absolutely agree with Ace on several points and issues on that.
Look, to me, I think, like I said, Moxley faces MJF, loses to MJF, and then MJF could face, he could probably face Hangman for the title. He beats Hangman, and that frustrates Hangman, turns him heel. I think Hangman right now as a babyface, like Famous B was saying, he's kind of stale right now. People are kind of getting bored of him. But I think with the change of character, maybe him being a badass cowboy, because he always has cowboy shit. So maybe turn him like a badass heel where he doesn't really have to talk because his promo skills, they're good, but not great, in my opinion. So I think maybe him and Dark Order turning heel could help help not only Adam Page, but also would help out Dark Order, and they can help each other out. You know what I mean? Because I think one of the members of Dark Order, I know they're good at promos. They're a little bit better at promos when it comes to Adam Page. They're not great, but they're better than Adam Page in my opinion. So I can see Adam Page turning heel, and then after Adam Page turns heel, starts a feud somewhere else. Maybe then MJF could continue feuding with Bryan Danielson. I can kind of see that happening and go from there, and that could be his second title defense against Bryan Danielson. And that MJF has his new crew, whatever. I forgot what they're called, but they have a new little faction that tries to help MJF anytime he has a match now. So, and then Bryan Danielson, he has his crew, which is the Blackpool Combat Club. So I think that can really work out for MJF. That could be a good feud. Yes, Moxley will be out for a while, and then whenever he's ready to come back, he can come back and put himself right back in the title picture. Why not? Try to get his payback on MJF. I think that would be great storytelling. One last thing about AEW, which I also have mixed feelings about it, and that is the debut of Soraya, formerly known as Paige. I love that she's in AEW. I wish she was still in WWE, but fine. I think she's gonna do great whether she was in WWE or in AEW. I think she's gonna do great. My only concern is her health. If they clear her to wrestle, which that's what it looks like, that's what it appears at, because in the website of AEW, it has her win-loss record. Of course, it's 0-0-0 because she hasn't had a match, but it shows that she's a competitor. So to me, I don't know, because if she's a competitor, she can get injured, and it'll really mess her up if she gets injured again. Especially if they put her up against someone like Ty Conti or Ty Mello, whatever her name is now, or one of the younger talents that are still working their way up. I think she'll have great matches with women like Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, but if they try to put her up against other non-veterans, other female wrestlers that are not quite there yet, I think it has a lot of potential of getting injured. And that's my concern. And at the same time, if she doesn't wrestle, if she's just there to maybe be a manager or a coach or just something when it comes to helping the women's division, which is great for AEW, but at the same time, what's the point of having Soraya if she's not going to wrestle? Especially if you've made a big deal out of it, she's not going to wrestle. So, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I love it. I hate it. I don't know what to think about it. I have mixed feelings. What is your thoughts on Soraya? Famous, I'm going to go with you first.
Okay, so I'm going to make it really short and sweet because I actually want to hear from Dalis on this. But, okay, so here's my opinion as far as Soraya goes. I'm going to have to agree with you on some things here, but I'm going to go a step a little further with it. So Soraya, to me, is a liability. Mm-hmm. I think that, that injury really took a toll on her. I don't think she's cleared to wrestle quite yet. And in my opinion, if I were Tony Khan, I would have brought in Soraya to become a manager of the Divas division. The reason why I say that is because I think Soraya would be good to guide the women's division, push these ladies into becoming what they should be. make it exciting, entertaining, fun. And she doesn't really even have to be in the ring. I mean, hell, she can go in the ring and promote and cut good promos and, just go out there and say, look, I'm going to make these great matches for you guys. I'm going to make sure that we're entertained. I'm going to pump up the women's division, so on and so forth. So that would be me if I was Tony Khan. I agree with you. I don't really think I would put her back in the ring. She takes that one shot to the neck, and that's some serious stuff. So, again, I agree with you. I would really like to see her become a manager to push the women's division, push the right wrestlers, make great matches. And, I really want to see that, but definitely a liability for me.
Because I do think she can have great matches, depending on who they put her up against. Maybe if they put her up against Toni Storm, or maybe Ember Moon, Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon. I think she could have great matches with her, with Dr. Britt Baker. But my concern is when she faces the greener side of the women's division. We've seen a lot of botches. We've seen if they put her up against, let's say, Marina Shafir or Ty Mello, I think she has a potential really getting hurt, and that scares me because I'm a huge fan of Soraya Page. I'm a huge fan of her, so I don't want her to get injured, especially when it comes to the neck. And if you think about it, if she does wrestle, if she does get re-injured, it's gonna kind of make AEW look bad because WWE didn't clear her. They tested her and they did not clear her to wrestle. And for AEW to say, oh, okay, we'll clear you, it makes their doctors look bad, in my opinion. It looks the company look bad. You just cleared. How can WWE, which is a bigger company, which have their own doctor, and they didn't clear, and you were able somehow to get her cleared, and then she gets injured? I don't know. Dallas, what do you think?
I also have mixed feelings in regards to Soraya's debut. To be honest, I wasn't over the moon, and I'll tell you why I was not over the moon. AEW always tends to bring someone into AEW that it's like, for me, I'm just getting bored or sick and tired that they keep bringing someone with a bigger name. In this case, the women's division. Like, this is my big complaint in regards to the women's division. Okay, bring in Soraya, a big name. It runs in her family. Big family name. But then if you look more in depth into their women's division, because I actually counted it, including Soraya, there are 38 women in AEW. And barely a dozen that pops up on your TV, whether it's on Rampage, Dynamite, and the YouTube channels.
Yep.
To me, it's like, it's kind of like the CM Punk situation, like he brings in CM Punk because he has the name, right? A legend to many. So, they bring in Soraya to save the division because she has the name, her resume and whatnot. But bringing in more people to their stack roster isn't going to help elevate the women's division. Or
it's just going to push back.
Yes, because there's no room to breathe in that division. The ones that we see on TV is the same ones over and over again.
Yep, I agree.
And including from the 38, 4 of them are injured. So they still have 34 women just laying around there.
Yep.
So that's where I'm standing. I wasn't over the moon because I'm like, oh, great, another one. Like, it's like I'm not getting too excited with who he's bringing anymore. And, for him to work on the women's division, you just gotta have to help them out, not by bringing more women elevate the ones that you currently have. Try to help them. I don't know. Give them more TV time as well.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
like for instance, I think it was on Rampage, Jade versus Diamante. Freaking 5 minutes. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
And then I know people tend to compare Jade with Bianca Belair, but there's a big difference between both of them. At least Bianca Belair, she gives you a very competitive wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
They're not 5 minutes anymore. They're actually giving you a good quality wrestling match. Versus Jade, she cannot even last more than 10 minutes.
Right, but Dallas, let me ask you a question though, because I think this is something that I would like to hear from you. Now, you talk about how you're not really enthused with Soraya being in AEW, but let me ask you this. Based on Soraya's experience, though, don't you think that would help the women's division as far as her pushing all these wrestlers? She doesn't really have to go inside the ring, but because of her experience and what she's done, don't you think by her showing up could actually help that women's division be stronger?
See, then that would be different. She's coming in as a mentor to them.
Right. Which was
but the way they're broadcasting on TV, it's giving the fans the idea she's coming back as a wrestler.
Yep, I agree.
Right.
That's what we don't know yet. I mean, if they're giving us the program and her debut, everyone's assuming she's coming back as a wrestler.
Yeah, and then like I said, you check the roster, and they have 0 wins, loss, and so if she wasn't a wrestler, they wouldn't have that. It would just be her name. But and you know Tony's gonna want her to wrestle.
Right.
Tony's gonna want her to wrestle to see if she can bring in the ratings up. Because right now Tony kind of been, well, Dynamite kind of has gone up on the ratings. But Rampage has been really struggling with the ratings. People are not really watching Rampage, so I think he's gonna want her to wrestle. But I do agree with what Dalis is saying, where the best way to help the women's division is not bringing more people, is by giving the women's matches more time and maybe a better storyline here and there. Because
in other words, it's quality over quantity.
Exactly, I agree.
But at the same time, you're not just bringing in a particular wrestler. He's bringing in Paige. He hasn't brought in any WWE. Former divas. Well, he has, but there's been very limited amount. But Soraya could, because of what she's done, because we don't really know she's going to be a wrestler. We just don't know that. But let's say that she doesn't. She could be that person to guide that division and say, hey, look, I'm bringing my experience to you ladies to get you to become a better wrestler. And to give the fans what they want. So I'm kind of just boosting it. But like I said, we don't.
But at the same time, look, famous. But remember, they did also bring in Madison Rayne, and supposedly Madison Rayne was just going to be a coach for the women's division. Yeah, she still had matches, and she still had a couple of, I think like 2 or maybe 3 matches already on TV. So she is wrestling. So if Madison Rayne, who is just a coach, and she's wrestling, I'm sure most likely they're gonna have, maybe not at first, maybe it might take a bit, but I do see Soraya having a match. I do see that happening.
But I will get to Dallas. But at the same time, we're talking about Soraya. Nobody really cared about the wrestler you just mentioned.
Madison Rayne.
Madison Rayne. No one even drawing attention to Madison Rayne. They never cared. When they saw Soraya come in, everything just shined and went boom. So
okay.
You gotta think about it from that perspective. No one cared about Madison Rayne.
I agree on that, but I'm just giving you an example because you're saying that Soraya should be like a coach or a general manager or a manager for the women's division. But no matter, even if they put her as a manager, they're gonna want her to wrestle. That's a comparison. But if you want to compare,
if she's medically clear,
yeah, but if you want to compare name value, didn't they just bring both Toni Storm and Athena?
Exactly.
And you're already forgetting about them?
2 months apart, like every 2 months.
Exactly.
They keep bringing a name in. It all began with Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho got released. AEW got her. We were so stoked that Ruby was in AEW. We all thought she was going to help elevate the women's division. We all thought she was going to win that TBS.
She got that huge pop. People were excited to hear her.
And then where's Ruby Soho now? It's like everything went downhill because they keep bringing more and more women.
Athena just came in, and already she's being lost in the shuffle. She got a title shot and lost, and already lost in the shuffle. Toni Storm, the only reason she's champion because she's interim champion. And because they wanted to take the belt off away from Thunder Rosa, because there's a lot of controversy going around with Thunder Rosa right now, so they wanted to take the belt away from her. But it's like they really ain't doing anything with Toni Storm either, and she's the champion. They're booking their TBS champion Jade, pushing her more as a badass, even though they're shorter matches. But she's like the Goldberg of AEW in the women's division, and they're not even doing anything with Toni Storm, and she's the interim champion.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, what it all comes down to is how they're presenting these new people in. You know, there's different ways to make them debut, but debuting on TV at the main event, I'm pretty sure 90% of the people are already assuming that Soraya is back as a wrestler.
Yep.
That's how they present it to us.
Right.
I mean, if it was presented something differently, like, you know, being a manager, a mentor, that could have been done very differently from that.
Like how they did with Mark Henry and Big Show a while back ago. They didn't come to the ring and scare off the heels or whatever. They just came out and they got their pop and they say hi to the fans and then they went back. That's it. Real quick pop and then it's over. But with Soraya, she even went out into the ring and made the heels back away. So to me, I think they might be building up to a feud between Dr. Britt Baker and Soraya. That's the way it looks like.
Exactly.
Yep.
But she has to be medically cleared, and that's what we don't know yet.
Well, I've heard. I don't know, but I've heard that the AEW's doctors have cleared her. I'm not 100% sure. I can't confirm it 100%. But the things that I've heard and the way it looks like online and like Dalis said, the way they present her, to me it seems like AEW's doctors have cleared her. And that's what worries me. Because if they clear her and they put her up a match and she gets injured, it's going to make Tony Khan look really bad. And it's going to make AEW's doctors look really bad. Okay, now let's go to the main event. Let's go back to WWE. And let's talk about what everyone is talking about, the White Rabbit. What is your guys' thoughts on the White Rabbit, all the QR codes, all the different things that they're trying to make people think and believe? It's totally different. They've never done something like this. To me, it seems like it's Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt's coming back, but then other people are saying maybe it's a faction, maybe between Bray Wyatt, Karrion Kross, Dexter Lumis, Scarlett, a combination of that. They did kind of tease Aleister Black with the beginning of his theme song, his WWE theme song, on one of the codes, the QR codes or whatever. They did kind of tease Corbin because on one of the towns it says Corbin in Ohio or something like that. So it kind of Corbin, Kentucky. There you go, Corbin, Kentucky. So people were like, "Oh, so it's Baron Corbin." with JBL or something like that, or maybe he's going back to his own lone wolf thing. But everything going on with the White Rabbit, WWE or Bray Wyatt, whoever's doing this White Rabbit, they're creating YouTube channels, TikTok accounts, everything to make people like, what the hell's going on? And it makes you want to tune in to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown because you gotta look at everything going on backstage because they don't show the barcode that way. It's like for like a quick second, then they take it off. So you have to keep an eye on it, take screenshots, go back, rewind and look back at the segments and stuff like that. You got to be really careful with everything going on with the White Rabbit. And you never know what you're going to see. People thought that maybe on SmackDown he was going to show up, but it was another QR code and more teases. People thinking maybe Extreme Rules because the Extreme Rules poster in the background, you see a lantern, you see fireflies in the background. So I don't know. What is your guys' thoughts on everything going on with the White Rabbit? Famous B, I'm gonna go with you.
All right, so here's my thing with the White Rabbit. I think it's going to be Bray Wyatt, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because I've been seeing multiple reports that everybody's taking their phones, flashing those lights, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's Bray Wyatt. I don't think it's Aleister Black because there's a report saying that Aleister Black is going back to AEW. He has told everybody, don't believe the reports. I'm not going anywhere. I am coming back to AEW. I'll be back soon. So in my opinion, Aleister Black will not be going back to WWE at all. It is going to be Bray Wyatt because I think from what I'm seeing, they're flashing these lights with their phones. That's what they used to do when Bray Wyatt was there. I think it's Bray Wyatt. I think I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. If that is the case, bring it back as the Fiend like we deserve the character to be. I'm excited. I can't wait to see Bray Wyatt.
I think it's going to be like a combination of the Fiend and the old Wyatt family Bray Wyatt, I think. To me, I can see that happening, like a combination. Yeah. People were also saying Karrion Kross because they said that his Lucha Underground. Yep, his Lucha Underground character was the White Rabbit. So people were saying it's Karrion Kross. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's Karrion Kross plus others. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a big faction who may be going up against the Bloodline, try to take out the Bloodline or something. I don't know, man, but I'm excited. I'm excited. This is something different. With WWE has never done anything like this, so I'm excited. Dalis, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so thrilled with this White Rabbit concept. Like, it gets you guessing, and every, Raw, SmackDown, you're just tuning in just to see if there's more hidden messages or Easter eggs, like I like to call them. Like, it gets me, to think, who is it? It's like a Guess Who game. Like, who is it?
Yep.
And if you go even more details, I think that TikTok video, if you look at it, it kind of has that same type of video formatting when he fought John Cena at that Firefly Funhouse match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that video-esque quality is pretty nails on the same. That same style and everything. So I'm leaning that it's Bray Wyatt as well. Maybe it's a hybrid of all his characters, maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, I have a feeling that he's not alone. I think it's Bray Wyatt with company.
I can see that. I think
in the TikTok video, I'm not sure if it was the merchandise or one of the videos, there was the sheep, like a sheep. The other one that had the sheep was Braun Strowman when he was part of the Wyatt family. So I'm guessing that maybe it's Bray Wyatt reuniting with Braun Strowman and Karrion Kross, like those guys with Scarlett.
Mm-hmm. And then also put in Dexter Loomis, because if you remember when Dexter Loomis was making his debut, there was things going on backstage, and people didn't know what was going on, and people just assumed that it was it was Dexter Loomis doing all those attacks, and it was a car flipped over or a car crash or some sort. There was things going backstage that was like, what's going on? Makes you think what's going on. And then all of a sudden it calmed down. But then now Karrion Kross came, and now the White Rabbit. To me, I think you can put all that together and make some sort of super faction.
Yeah, and there's like little Easter eggs too. Like, if I think on yesterday's Raw segment, there's a segment with Bliss and Asuka backstage, and the way the camera was capturing them, like you could see, like, remember when he had his puppets at the Firefly Funhouse, that bird, like you could see like the silhouette of that bird right through that camera.
Interesting. I didn't see that. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like very little details that people could miss.
Yeah.
But if you really pay attention, you'll see little things like that.
See, that's why I love this, what's going on with the White Rabbit, because you really got to pay attention. And sometimes if you have DVR, you got to go back and rewind and go back and look at things closely. Like, you can't miss it. Now the backstage segments, you can't miss the backstage segment, even if you think it's a filler. But now it's not, because you never know. You might get a QR code. You might get some sort of, like you said, like a little silhouette of someone backstage. You gotta keep an eye on everything now. It makes you want to watch Raw and SmackDown the whole show, and because it makes things interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. It gets people talking, predicting, and I'm enjoying it. It's really fun. It's like playing a detective game.
Yep.
And lucky for those people who get to go to the live events, that they get to see the whole lighting situation.
Yeah, with the music, with the awesome White Rabbit music. That's awesome. Also, not only that, at Walmart, they're selling a new Bray Wyatt figure, which just came out, which is an old figure, but he kind of looks like a magician with the top hat and the whole suit, kind of. And what does a White Rabbit go with? A magician.
A magician.
So I'm not saying he's gonna be like a magician, but I'm just saying that it goes with that. How all of a sudden, with everything going on, it's like all of a sudden Walmart comes out with that figure. They could have bring it out way before, but they choose now, right now, that's with everything going on with the White Rabbit, and that's when you come out with it. You know what I mean? Like, interesting. I saw that figure, and at first I was like, I don't care about that figure, but now I kind of want it just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Maybe it's like a little hint, you know?
Bateman, what do you think about that?
But, I know you said that. I think I read it too, that people are thinking that it's Baron Corbin. I honestly don't think it's Baron Corbin, because the last time we saw him, he went in a limousine that had bullhorns, so we know he's with JD.
Well, I think WWE is just trying to throw people off the scent of Bray Wyatt, because people are saying it's Bray Wyatt. So they're trying to find ways to make people think, oh, maybe it is this person, or maybe it is this person, or maybe it's this person. Try to confuse people. But I when Corbin does come back, I see him as kind of like the JBL character, and have JBL as his manager.
Yeah.
I've heard that that's what they're working on, so I don't think it's Baron Corbin. I just think that they did that to try to throw people off. Same thing with the Aleister Black thing. I think that it's not that Aleister Black is leaving. I think they just did that because they saw an opportunity where people were saying that he was leaving AEW. So they're like, you know what? Whether he's leaving or not, let's take advantage and let's make people think that it's him. Maybe we're bringing him in. You know what I mean? Like I said, to throw people off of Bray Wyatt, so when he does make his debut, whether it's at Extreme Rules, whether it's at the Survivor Series, whenever it is, he makes his debut, people are gonna be shocked because, you know what I mean? I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So fun.
We'll see. We'll see. Amy, what do you think about the figure that I talked about at Walmart? Is that a coincidence? Famous, are you there?
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking to Dallas. You know what? Believe it or not, I like the figure. Here's my thing. By them putting that figure at Walmart, I think they kind of gave it away that it was going to be Bray Wyatt that was going to come back. I mean, there's far too many hints going out there. He's been on. I've been looking at the Bleacher Report, following WWE. His name's been put out there a lot. I firmly believe that Bray Wyatt is going to be the guy coming back, and like Dallas said, or you said, it could be a various combination of characters. It could be the Fiend. It could be the old version of the Wyatt family. I don't think that Braun Strowman is going to be a part of that faction team, and here's why. I think the fact that Braun Strowman likes where he's at right now, the people like his character and so on and so forth. And he did mention that he did not want to go back to the Wyatt family. I don't see that happening. I really think that he's good where he's at, but I do think that that Bray Wyatt brings in, some other people to create a new family, a new system. I just don't think Braun Strowman is that guy that's going to be a part of that family.
One final thing I will say, and then we're going to go out to our final thoughts. Another thing that gets me with the White Rabbit is how things are changing all the time. Like I said, I do think it's Bray Wyatt, but I do think how they're changing facts. I know one of the codes that they gave out, it was kind of like, when you look it up online, the coordinates, it shows a picture of a rabbit, and it's like, I don't know, it's a lot of interesting things. But like I said, I do see Bray Wyatt coming back as this White Rabbit, and I think it's gonna be like a fusion of all his gimmicks, like Dallas said, or maybe, like I said, part of the Fiend. And not only that, I think it also connects because I heard that he's been working on a movie with the guy who created the Fiend mask. And I heard that movie is coming soon. They haven't released a date, but it has been filmed already. It's done already, and it's coming soon. So maybe that could also boost up so people can want to watch the movie for Bray Wyatt. It's going to come out in. Because I heard that there's going to be some sort of scary movie. So it's kind of be like, if you guys remember Kane, when he did his See No Evil, and they did the whole storyline with the May 19th, and they were teasing it, and then Kane was beating up everybody that was doing May 19th, and it was building up to the movie. I think that's going to be kind of what they're going to do with the White Rabbit. I think that's why they're not mentioning the movie. But I hear that movie's coming soon, so maybe when they start announcing the movie, that's maybe when they're gonna start bringing in Bray Wyatt, and that's how they build up the White Rabbit situation. Now let's go with our final thoughts. It's already been an hour, and I know Dalis has to go, so let's get our final thoughts on everything going on in pro wrestling, and then give us your social media and where everyone could follow you. We're going to go with Dalis first.
Well, my final thoughts is that WWE is killing it right now, pretty much, especially with the White Rabbit concept. My God, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being detective. So that really, really has me excited. And my social media, I'm very active on Instagram. So I'm at Dalis Ortiz 80.
Awesome. Please, everyone, go check her out, follow her, and thank you for being on the show, Dallas. Thank you for coming on and being our guest and talking about everything.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, you did an awesome job. Like I said at the women's show, ladies' night. You did a great job, and hopefully we do another one soon, and maybe we get someone different women in this podcast, and we'll see. But you did a great job, and thank you for joining us. And Famous, your final thoughts.
My final thoughts first, before I give my final thoughts again. Dallas, thank you for joining the podcast. You did an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
You always make it fun and entertaining for us. And again, you did a tremendous job on the last podcast with the ladies. You guys had total fun. We were hearing it, and it was very enjoyable to hear. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so my final thoughts is this. Pro wrestling is taking over the world. If you are not a pro wrestling fan, I think it's an opportunity for you to become one. I think if you're not fired up as a pro wrestling fan, you need to be. And like Dallas said, and like I've said on numerous occasions, always expect the unexpected because you just don't know. Yep. So at the end of the day, pro wrestling's on fire. Both sides have done their jobs, one better than the other, and hopefully the other one will step up the game a little bit. But again, it's pro wrestling, and we love it, and we enjoy it, and that's why we get the opportunity to watch it. And you can also follow me at the Famous B Show 75 on Instagram, and I will keep you entertained as well as we do here. And it's just an amazing opportunity to grow as a pro wrestling fan. And again, if you're not fired up, get fired up.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, this podcast is made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We love talking about this. We love promoting pro wrestling. We want you guys to check out pro wrestling because it's getting really awesome. I agree on what Dallas and Famous B said. It's a little more on the WWE side, but AEW starting to pick up even after their controversial thing that they did. Starting to pick up again. They still need some work, and hopefully they get there. But WWE's killing it. I'm excited. I can't wait for Extreme Rules. I'm excited for Survivor Series. I'm even kind of excited to see Logan Paul get his ass whooped by Roman Reigns. But that's different because I'm not a fan of Logan Paul. I like what he's doing at WWE, but I want to see him get his ass kicked. But anyways, but anyways, follow me on Ace and His Familia Vlogs on Instagram, on YouTube. Check out the YouTube channel. This podcast will also be on YouTube, so if you want to either listen to it on the YouTube channel or on Spotify. If you're listening to us on Spotify, please follow us, share it, let people know, and we're going to continue this. I can't wait for the next episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. And until next time, this is Ace. On behalf of Famous B, my co-host, and Dallas, I hope everyone has a great night. And can't wait to see some more great wrestling. So that's it for this episode. Hope you guys have a good night. Famous, Dallas, see you guys.
See ya. Good night.
Have a good night. Laters.